I'm going to be talking about healing, but this is going to be different. You know, I've had a series in the past where I went for, I think it was either 6 or 8 weeks doing nothing but teaching on healing. What we're going to be doing, I'm going to be sharing a lot of things from Scriptures, but we also have a brand new Healing Journeys DVD out. For those of you that aren't familiar, this is our 5th DVD now documenting healings, and this one's of course Healing Journeys Volume 5, and we are going to be sharing some of these videos where my staff went out and interviewed people and got their testimony about how God has performed miraculous healings. And today I'm going to be playing a special, one of the new ones that we've got. But real quickly, let me just go through and mention some of the things. In our first series that we did right here, we did our very first Healing Journeys that we ever did was on Nikki Oshinsky. She's now married. Her name is Weller, but at the time it was Nikki Oshinsky. She had fibromyalgia, all kinds of chemical sensitivities, and we actually have her doctor on this video. And he said he never expected to see her at the appointment the next week. She was on the verge of death, and I mean was unable to lift her arm, was unable to basically do anything. She couldn't brush her teeth, couldn't feed herself. She had to have help going to the bathroom. She was in just the last stages of death. And God raised her up, and she started walking, and this is what started it all. And then from her, there have been so many people that have been touched by this. As a matter of fact, the video that I want to play with you today is from Julianne Hartman. And Julianne Hartman was suffering from some things similar to what Nikki went through. And she went to our website and she saw Nikki's testimony. And this first testimony on Nikki, it was about 50 minutes long. Most of these testimonies are anywhere from 10 minutes to 20 minutes. Maximum. We've since learned how to pare them down. But this first testimony was 50 minutes long, and Julianne said that she watched Nikki's testimony probably 50 times or more. And through this, God started speaking to her about healing, and she reached out, and she has been miraculously healed. And anyway, we'll play that and give you some more information on it. But also we have on here the story of Hannah Teradez, which is just a miraculous testimony. A little girl who was 3.5 years old, lived in England, and at 3.5 years old she was only wearing the clothes of a 9.5-month-old baby. She had been unable to eat food. Her body had an autoimmune disease that attacked any food that came into it. And because of it, she had never eaten solid food. They had to puree and give special formulas. And the last step was that they actually had a feeding tube that went directly into the stomach. And I think it was like 23 hours a day, Hannah had to be fed through this tube with a special solution because her body would just reject anything. And finally, her body had gone to rejecting this solution, and the doctors basically sent her home to die. And that's when I met her. We prayed with her. She was miraculously healed, raised up, went out, and the very first food that she ever ate was Kentucky Fried Chicken and biscuits and French fries and desserts and all of this. Carly, her mother, said that, you know, a well person, it would have made her sick to eat all of the stuff that she did. And she has been miraculously healed. It's been over 10 years. Ashley and Carly, the parents of Hannah, they came to our UK school and went there, and also both sets of grandparents. I mean, this was such a notable miracle. It just affected everybody in the family. They all came to Bible school, and then Ashley and Carly actually moved their family here to the U.S., and they finished at our Colorado Springs Bible College, and they now are on staff with me, and they are an integral part of our whole ministry. And it's been 10 years, and I tell you just what a great testimony that is. I'm just going through some of these real quickly because we aren't going to be playing all of these. We're only going to be playing 10 testimonies over the next 10 days of broadcast, but we now have about 20 to 25 of these testimonies. We've also got a testimony of the Trover baby that was healed of Down syndrome. Man, that was awesome. We've got Mercy Santos on here, who is multiple sclerosis, and she came to one of my meetings in Florida, and I prayed with her. She was in a wheelchair, and I remember praying with her, and she left in the wheelchair. There was no visible sign that anything had changed, but in Mercy's heart, she believed she was healed. And in less than 6 months, I think it might have been just over 6 months, she was out running, and we now have her testimony on here. She's now traveling and ministering the Word. She prays for lots of people, has a healing ministry. It's awesome. And so God totally redeemed that situation. It's just great. We have Mike Hesh. We're going to be playing his, and we have some graphic pictures that he took of a tumor that was on his chest right here, and it was the size of both of my fists wadded up, and he took pictures of that showing tentacles that went all through him. It was a cancer, and according to the doctors, he was supposed to die. I think he had this thing for something like 8 years, and he finally got hold of my teaching on You've Already Got It. And when he got that, I mean, he knew that he had it. And Mike just went to ignoring this. He got so excited that he was healed. And anyway, we'll let him give his own story. But it was miraculous. Within 6 months, he was completely healed, and he now works for us. He's out there answering our phones right now. We are going to do an update with him and show you what's happened. We also have Audrey Scott on here. This is a little girl that was born with part of her heart missing, and she didn't have any of the arteries that went to her lungs. And so because of this, the doctors were trying to do some things, but basically they just gave no hope, that there was no way that she could live. And her mother called in and got prayer, and because of that, this little girl, her heart was, I mean, it was just miraculously placed there. She was missing ribs, and like I said, the arteries to her heart. God replaced those. And today, I couldn't even tell you how old she is, but she's probably at least 7 years old, maybe older than that. And she's just a totally healthy girl, and it is an awesome, awesome testimony. We've got Connie Weiskopf on here, who is healed of cancer, and also gives her testimony about how she had multiple abortions and got set free from the guilt and the condemnation that went with that. And she actually managed a pregnancy center for a number of years, helping other ladies to get over that. So that's a great testimony. Our volume number 4 has Benjamin Esau on it, a boy that was born dead in South Africa. And because of the Word of God that the parents had been getting hold of, they spoke and believed God. And Benjamin was raised from the dead, and healthy little boy today. We got Andrew Mullins on here, which this is a great testimony from Ireland. And I tell you, Andrew was given up to die. He had stage 4 neuroblastoma cancer. And the parents got hold of the teaching. Somebody just sent them some of my teachings on healing, and they started listening to it. And not only did their son get healed, but man, they have started praying for other people, and they have seen dozens, maybe, I don't know, hundreds of people miraculously healed. We got a testimony of Richard Waller on here, who was a Chippendale and had his own television broadcast on the Playboy channel. And he got born again, but had terrible back problems and was miraculously healed of it. And another testimony that we will be showing is Timothy and James McDermott, who had severe Asperger's syndrome. It was a critical situation, and their mother, Deborah McDermott, man, she just got hold of the Word of God. She believed God. And today, Timothy and James have not only been totally set free and declared completely normal by the England Healthcare Service, but Timothy has graduated from our school, and he's now in Colorado, and he is graduating again, a second time. He just got so much out of school that he's gone through it, and so he's graduating a second time. And I tell you, he's one of our most popular kids. Everybody loves Timothy, and he's just a tremendous blessing. What a trophy of God's grace. So today what I want to do, I want to play a little video about Julianne Hartman. Her husband, Butch Hartman, is the one who's written a number of these cartoons that are on Nickelodeon. They are very successful in the Hollywood realm, but she had a sickness, and was suffering, and because of it, she turned to God, and the Lord touched her and totally delivered Julianne. And today, man, she is on fire. And I want you to just watch this. I believe it'll be a real blessing to you. So watch this, and I'll come back at the end of the program today and encourage you to get these materials.